In this week's Hello Dave, Frontier did an oopsie, the end of the Odyssey alpha days was hidden in an official video, and the Turning the Wheel project answers an important question about BGS. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down-to-Earth Astronomy. Last week we of course got the second phase of the Odyssey alpha focusing around combat, and it gave us access to the frontline solution, the basically on-foot variant of conflict zones. However, the deployment didn't go without its little hiccups. Frontier did a small oopsie here when they accidentally also enabled people to buy the Artemis suit as well as the full lineup of Manticore plasma weaponry. Frontier did discover this pretty quickly, removed them from the game so people couldn't buy them, and then later the same day deployed a hotfix that would remove them from any account that had already bought them. However, it didn't go completely flawless in that part either. There might have been something that went a little bit too fast on Frontier ends, because on Twitter they did say that these things would be removed, but they had a rather unfortunate wording. The end of their tweet said, and I quote, "If you have already bought them, please refund them to avoid losing credits or being kicked from the server." End quote. Now, a lot of people took this to be, well, if you don't sell them, we're going to kick you out of the alpha. And I agree that you can see it like that, but what Frontier meant, which they, to be fair, also clarified in the comment track below when people got confused about it, when they say that you get kicked from the server, it just means that everybody who had the equipment when the hotfix was deployed, they would have their accounts or their characters temporarily kicked from the server until the hotfix was deployed, so that people who had these items that were being removed wasn't logged in while they were being removed, because that could cause all kinds of weird things, getting people stuck if they're trying to have a suit on that they don't own that suddenly gets removed in the middle of something. So it was just getting people off the servers while they deployed the hotfix. Took like 5 minutes, and then people could go back on and the items would have been removed. Unfortunately, because Frontier removed these items from the server, that meant if the people actually tried to do what Frontier said and go and sell them, well, they wouldn't be able to. They would get a transaction error because they would be trying to sell an item that didn't exist in the game, and the servers didn't know what to do about it. They didn't know what the item price was. They didn't know what to do with them. So people couldn't sell them, even though that was what they were being asked to do. So it's not really a big deal, but I do think it was a little unfortunate with the wording in that tweet that it caused some confusion. But again, they did clarify it relatively quickly in the comment section. The end of the alpha test date has also been announced, and in a rather curious way. So Frontier, of course, released one of these videos where they showcased some of the frontline solution, and in the end of that video, it was stated, the scrolling text at the end that very few people actually sit and read. There, it was actually stated that the alpha would end on the 30th, so that would be at the end of the month. It's a little weird. I don't know if this is an oversight that this was not supposed to be there, but it's a weird way to announce an end date. That would have worked very well in maybe an updated roadmap or rollout plan or something like that. And the weird thing is, I'm pretty sure we were told that we would have a 6-week alpha, but this would make it down to at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5-ish, almost 5 weeks alpha test. So we are more than a week short on the period for the alpha. I don't know if this is because Frontier feels like it went better than they expected, so they're fast tracking some of the phases, and they don't maybe have as much work that they need to do, so they want to end the alpha early in order to get a release. Or if it is the opposite, that they already accumulated so much work that they want to stop it early so that they have the time to actually fix all the stuff that's already been found. I don't know. But at the very least, it seems a little weird. Maybe that date is not correct. Maybe that was left in there by accident. Maybe that was a previous proposed day to end the alpha, and it was left in there by mistake, because it just seems like a really odd way to announce a end of alpha test. I would have expected a updated roadmap if they wanted to announce specific days, so putting it there just seemed really weird. So I'm not really sure if this is actually correct or if it was left there by mistake, but I guess we'll have to wait and see as these phases progress. Now, over on the live server, there's also some rather interesting things happening BGS-wise. I think about a year ago, the Turning the Wheel project started to promote the Dark Wheel in-game player faction. Although it's not a player faction, it's an NPC faction, but still they tried to promote it. Now, when the project started, there was a lot of discussion whether this faction had some special BGS rules around it that allowed it to not be manipulated by players. And the Turning the Wheel project has clearly already shown that that is not the case. So far, the The Dark Wheel has adhered to all known BGS rules, so they seem to be just a normal faction like everybody else. But one of the main things, one of the big things that the Turning the Wheel project wanted to try and answer was if the Dark Wheel as a faction, if there were some special rules around them, and more specifically, could they be expanded into Sol? Last week, they did have the expansion that was supposed to send them into Sol if it was possible, but it didn't. So it turns out that the Dark Wheel still, as it seems, adheres to normal BGS faction rules. And of course, the reason why you can't expand into Sol is because it is a permit lock system. But they're not done there. They still have other permit lock systems they're going to try and target with the faction to see if they're going to be able to expand in there. Now, there is one other thing that I actually wanted to include in Hello Dave today, but I couldn't really include much about it because it's around the Adamastor. You might remember that a while back, the Adamastor appeared in the Chuck Chan system, and there was a trail of clues and things we need to solve that led us to the bases located out in the Coalsack Nebula, and that event pretty much rewrote the law of Elite when we heard about the first ever human encounters with Thargoid, which was earlier than it was previously thought them to be. Now, the Adamastor has sprung to life again. There's been some Galnet articles that seems to be like a data beacon or something on it that's been sprung back to life after an interstellar message has appeared and reached the Adamastor. And the reason why I haven't really included it in Hello Dave today is because I want to go and take a look at it tomorrow doing the live stream. And whenever I do these, I try to stay as spoiler free as possible. And of course, it's really weird to do a news segment on a thing where I can't really tell you anything else that it's there. So that's why I will tomorrow on the live stream. We'll be heading back to the Adamastor. And we're going to be looking at the clues, we're going to be trying to follow them, try to solve them live on streams and see how it goes. It's usually a ton of fun to do these puzzle solving live streams, and I hope I will see you there. Of course, as always, it'll be live streamed on YouTube as well as on Twitch, and it will be at 7 o'clock in-game time. I hope I will see a lot of you guys there. I also hope you liked this video. If you did, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I will see you guys in space.